Um, it's very good to see so many familiar faces here today, particularly in this venue where we have gathered here before. And today, like no other day, we're all here for one reason, really, isn't it? It's because of our love for Sri Lanka. Although many of us are here bodily, our hearts and minds reside in Sri Lanka, or at least we have one foot straddled across each continent. And just about a year ago, we all came together here in this very space, not just us, but 3,000 of us from all over the country came here together. Our Tamil, Muslim, Sinhala brothers and sisters came here together, and we wanted to see a change for our motherland. Can you remember the landscape of Sri Lanka a few years ago? Can you remember that landscape? It was full of scarcity, full of hardship, sacrifice, burdened with debt, and many people thought that Sri Lanka couldn't rise again, that it was an impossible task. But I know you agree with me, we thought differently. And on the 21st of September in 2024, we all got together, us, people, Sri Lankans across the world, and people in Sri Lanka got together to make a monumental change, a historical world change. And little did we know it then, but our fellow Sri Lankans and everybody across the world back home came together and overturned 76 years of mismanagement and misrule in Sri Lanka. We did that by electing in a people's government, everybody. So we elected in the NPP. That was a people's government, and that, I don't know whether you really realise, but that is such a rare thing to achieve. We know that from the news it's becoming more and more apparent that the governments that we've had before were not people's governments. They were just working in their own interest. So that's becoming more and more apparent. So to elect in a people's government is an extremely rare thing in world history, and Sri Lanka achieved that. So under this government, this bleak landscape that we saw before, do you feel that it's transforming? Do you feel the landscape transforming? Do you feel that? Those bleak caverns of despair are giving way to valleys of opportunity. Those rivers and wells of fear are giving way to streams of confidence and springs of hope. And brothers and sisters, that has been reflected economically as well. Our economy has grown by 5%. So that's wonderful, isn't it? That's no mean feat, given what it was before. Our inflation, which was once a blazing fire that burned our brothers and sisters back home, is now calming. Our currency is stabilizing, our foreign reserves are replenishing, our trade is beginning to flourish, and poverty is beginning to decline. And that is pretty remarkable given the multifaceted, complex, embedded nature of these problems. So, politically, economically, and socially, we are witnessing a true renaissance. Isn't that true? It's a true renaissance, and that is an unusual word for us to be hearing in a political situation. So I looked up what renaissance means. Punurudaya, Malumarachi, what does that mean? Well, it talks about a rebirth of art, culture, science and learning. A move from the Middle Ages into modernity. Isn't that what's happening? Isn't that what we voted for? That's what we voted for. And what does a Renaissance look like? What does it really look like? Well, under this government, a Renaissance means that the era where privilege overshadowed service is over. The era where corruption silenced people is over. The era where our brothers and sisters were divided along the lines of race and religion is over. The era where our people were disappeared, their lands taken, and they devalued, that era is over. The era where our bright sons and daughters and our beloved mothers and fathers, where they were forced to leave Sri Lanka, that era is over. And friends, these are no mere quotes and these are not statistics. Although if we want statistics, we have plenty of those too. We have plenty from the World Bank, the IMF, the Democracy Federations, all those, we have those too. But these aren't statistics. These are feelings. These are tangible things that our families feel back at home. They are beginning to breathe again. Farmers are feeling supported, finally. Remember that whole fertilizer fiasco? Well, they are actually being supported and their crops are beginning to thrive. The youth, our precious youth, are beginning to dream again. The diaspora are beginning to think about returning. I think some of us here too are included in that. Our businesses are investing and people are taking pride in their work and they are beginning to trust again. So my friends, Sri Lanka is not merely recovering. Sri Lanka is transforming. And let us remember that no one person, no one entity can transform a nation alone. It's built by every worker in the workplace, every student in the classroom, every entrepreneur with a dream. It's built by every single mother, father and child. It's built by you, me, all of us as we speak, collectively. So friends, the world is watching and they see not a Sri Lanka in crisis, not anymore. They see a Sri Lanka that is beginning to soar with its people to heights that have never been achieved before. So, today, let us come together to celebrate this and future years of the NPP in this remarkable, united, mission unstoppable.
You're watching the Life Traveller channel.